I was out of it and couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner except stare blankly into space. The space is wonderful. I wonder... Okay, I was terrified from Rena going off on me. No, that's not right. That was someone else who only looked like Rena. Then, who could it have been? It was a dreadful feeling, knowing that was someone else, not Rena. So tomorrow, I shouldn't have a problem talking to Rena like I usually do. That thought was strangely comforting. I concluded that I should just calm down and clear my head. Though those thoughts continued swirling around in my mind. Finally, I returned to my senses as I heard my mother calling out to me from the bottom of the steps. Keiichi, it's a call from the bookstore. Bookstore? Can't think of why they'd be calling me. We haven't visited a bookstore at all, have we? I went downstairs and picked up the receiver anyway. My apologies for calling so late at night. It's me, Ooishi of the Okinomiya bookshop. Ooishi-san? Oh, it's Ooishi-san. Sorry. Since your parents picked up I said I was from the bookstore. It puts people off when I say I'm a police officer. Ooishi-san was, in his own way, rather courteous. Even so, I didn't want my parents hearing me talk to the police. I brought the cordless phone with me as I dashed back to my room on the second floor. Ooh, he's all fancy with his cordless phone. Sorry for calling so late. That phone number on the piece of paper I gave you yesterday was the old number. My apologies. Can you copy down the number I'm about to give you? Ah, yes. Okay. He gave me the number for his direct line as I wrote it down. I thought that was the end of it, but he began making pointless small talk, and it was pretty hard to hang up. I hate it when that happens. So, how's it been, Maibara-san? Did anything strange happen recently? Well, I see. This was the real reason. He really beat around the bush there. His adult conversational skills left me slack-jawed. Are you from around here, Ooishi-san? We're not going to answer his question. Well, there was that point where Rena turned nearly crazy on us, and we learned about Satoshi. What else happened? Just Satoshi, Rena nearly going crazy on us. I think that's about it, really. Yeah, I am. Born and raised in Okinomiya. He's from around here. He might know. Ooishi-san, do you know what this onikakushi thing is about? I believe that's when somebody suddenly vanishes because they've been abducted by a demon. It's a special saying from around here. It has the same meaning as spirited away like everyone else says. Whereas my friends would say they didn't know when I asked, this older man gave me a direct answer. It made me a bit happy that he answered directly without trying to hide anything. Hinamizawa was... I'm not sure I should be telling you this, Maibara-san. Don't try to play this off. If you're not going to talk, then I'm not going to tell you anything either. No, that's not what I meant. It's just, it may make you feel bad. You see, long ago, Hinamizawa was feared as the village where demons reside. Demons? By demons you mean those pitchfork carrying things in hell? More like human eating monsters. They'd go down to villages, snatching people up and gobbling them down. That kind of tale. Demons snatching up people is what this onikakushi really means. They said that the curse and being demoned away happened together. What does that mean? I already knew about the mysterious deaths happening 5 years in a row, but I didn't know there were people disappearing for those same 5 years. The curse and being demoned away happened together? First time I heard of that. Is that how it is, Maibara-san? That's what I want to know. I heard Rena and Mion talking about it. They said if it was really Oyashiro-sama's curse, then both the curse and demoning away would happen. Oji-san began hemming and hawing on the other end of the receiver. Maybe someone about that came to mind. Maibara-san, do you know the first incident? The murder by dismemberment? Yeah, one of the six perpetrators is still on the run, right? Hypothetically, what if he isn't on the run, but was demoned away? Huh? It was an outrageous hypothesis from Oshi-san. The incident 4 years ago was a particularly ghastly one. The police already knew the perpetrators, so they posted tons of wanted posters with his face on them. They staked out various locations and investigated every possible escape route he had. But after 4 years, there wasn't even a hint of where he might be. Unless the police were completely incompetent. Even if it was an outrageous hypothesis, I couldn't simply laugh it off. Then, what about the incident the next year, when the man who supported the project and his wife both died in an accident? Well, actually, it was only the husband who died in an accident. His wife's body never surfaced. Unless we find the body, then it's considered a missing person by law. At the time of the incident, with the river below the cliff being muddy rapids, the police divers had searched every branch off the main stream of the river for dozens of miles, but in the end, they weren't able to find her body. But that's just them not being able to find the body. She's still dead, right? Isn't it different from her being demoned away? Until you find a body, you can't assume someone's dead. Yeah, that's what we cannot say someone is dead without their body. Yeah, that's about right. Until a certain number of years pass, by law, she's treated as still alive. I'm not sure if that's if it was right to call that being demoned away. The wife is missing. At least that part was reality. How about the 3rd year? The Shinto priest died of illness, and his wife committed suicide. Naibara-san, that's actually the exact same scenario. The wife had supposedly thrown herself into the bottomless marsh deep in the forest around Hinamizawa, meaning it was all circumstantial evidence. They simply found her suicide note in front of the marsh. A diver was able to recover a few remnants, but they weren't able to find a body. Yet again, no body, no death. The investigative headquarters believed that she faked her death and was still alive somewhere. I'm not sure if we would call these cases as being demoned away. It's just as you said, every year one person does go missing. The incident this year, the woman with Tomitake-san has gone missing. Then what about the incident with the housewife beaten to death? Who went missing? I believe the perpetrator was caught, right? Yeah, we arrested him. He was just a miscreant with a record of narcotics abuse. He admitted to the crime while being questioned about a different incident. But, well, you see, after he was arrested, a child from the victim's home went missing. It's still under investigation. So as to whether the disappearance had anything to do with the crime. But you said you caught him, right? Did he have an accomplice? No idea. It's considered a separate case. Moreover, we can't even check now, because while under investigation, that man, he died in his holding cell. Oh god, he swallowed a smoke and choked to death. Oh boy. How do you willingly swallow the implement of eating? Yeah, it's not known whether it was an accident or a suicide. Probably a suicide. I mean, how do you, if you're eating a fork, how do you swallow the fork? What I want to know. Meaning, for the last 5 years, there's always one person who dies and one who goes missing? That's about right. No, actually, I'm surprised as well. I never realized they had that in common. I couldn't believe that this could help lead to the closing of these incidents. It was just something they had in common. Could it be that those deemed away have something in common? Ooishi-san mumbled as he seemed to be thinking about it. So I summarized the events. The first year was the dam employee. Second year was the wife of the dam project supporter. Third year was the wife of the Shinto priest. Fourth year was the victim's family's child. And the fifth year was the victim's girlfriend. I guess. Can we call him that? Call him the girlfriend? Yes, let's go with that. Let's roll with that. It doesn't seem like there's anything that connects them. With the exception of the first year, wives and girlfriends, those do stand out. And also his child, wasn't it? So it does seem like there's a lot. Does that means? But that means the fourth year's victim's child was different. It would have really stood out if it were all married couples, except it's not just married couples, but parents and children as well. Come to think of it, I believe Tomitake-san also told me the younger brother is alive and has moved, if I recall correctly. The child that went missing in the fourth year, who were they? Apparently he was quite mature, 1 year older than you. Ah, it's Satoshi, isn't it? Ah, his name was Satoshi Hojo-san. Huh? Satoshi? I remember that name. Didn't they tell me Satoshi transferred out last year? He was at your school up until last year. Hey, stop confirming what I'm thinking. Didn't they tell you anything about him? Come to think of it, when I transferred in, I believe they said my seat belonged to a recent transfer student. Then, where I sat, once belonged to one who was deemed away. It was his seat. I recall the cold sensation that came from that desk. It made my hair stand on end. This string of mysterious deaths, no, Oyashiro-sama's curse. I now knew how it connected to me. That chilling sensation. It was the feeling of Oyashiro-sama caressing the back of my neck. Oyashiro-sama's curse, huh? Could Oyashiro-sama's curse really exist? In all honesty, I was beginning to believe it, and I was scared. That was why I wanted to say it was a plot crafted by man and not the work of a curse. But the more I dug into it, the less likely that seemed. No, the more I dug, the more mysterious it became. If I kept digging, eventually, I reached the point where I learned something I really shouldn't know. To either be none the wiser, or to seek an answer I may regret. Which one would I be happier with? Maybe it'll be me next time. My execution could only be delayed for 1 year. What a horrible thought. That was when I remembered. Rena. Rena said she may be the next victim of the curse. You mean Rena Ruga-san? She transferred in last year, and she's your classmate, isn't she? These incidents really might be a bit too disturbing for a girl. She's not just scared, is she? It wasn't that. She said it might be her next. She said it in a way that made me think she had a concrete reason behind it. It felt like she was convinced, almost as if, you could say, she was frightened. A sudden change in demeanour, that someone who looked like Rena but wasn't Rena. That might be unrelated. Now I think you might as well mention it. They could be related, you just don't know at this point in time. All the strange things that I felt from Rena today came back to me. I see. Then I'll be doing a bit of investigating on this end. Please continue your observations of Ryuga-san, Maibara-san. Are you asking me to keep Rena under surveillance? That's not what I mean, Maibara-san. I just want you to watch out for your friend so she doesn't end up the next victim. At that moment, just as my mouth was agape, because I was so impressed with his mature, clever way with words. Knock knock. A sudden knock at the door set my heart racing. In an instant, I had pointlessly covered up the end of the receiver. Keiichi, get the door, please. On the other side of the door, I heard my father's oddly upbeat voice. What could it be? It's so late. Sorry, my dad just came in. Can we leave it at this for tonight? Yeah. My apologies again for calling so late. If you find out anything else, please let me know. I'll tell you if I make any progress on this end. Well then, have a pleasant evening. Keiichi, hurry and open up. Daddy's got his hands full. What is Dad doing? I stayed in that safe position while on the phone the whole time, so my joints were aching. And now we're just, after all that, just happy-go-happy time, are we? When I opened the door, I saw my father was standing there with a tray. On that tray, cookies and 2 cups of black tea, a fairly fancy spread for our household. There were even sugar and lemon slices on the side, everything you could ask for. Lemon slices? Really? Huh. This was quite the show of hospitality. Well, what's going on here? What's going on, Dad? What's all this for? Come on, don't play around, Keiichi. I'm coming in. Dad was in high spirits and had a smirk on his face. But for my entire life, I'd never seen him act this hospitable. What had gotten into him? So, what were you talking about? I jumped. It's not something I had to keep from my father. But how could I explain to him I was talking to a detective? I'm assuming he was. This late at night. Nothing much. Just a friend. I don't mean the phone. She was here, wasn't she? Rena-chan. She wasn't here? Come on, don't try to keep it from me. She just came over to play. You two were chatting away, so I thought I'd bring some tea, but it looks like you just missed her. I had no idea what Dad was talking about, but a cold sweat dripped down from my back. How long were we talking? Rena-chan went upstairs about half after, so it was close to an hour, I guess. You saw her come up to the 2nd floor. Yeah, I did. I also told her that your room was the door down the hall to the stairs. When I came to my house about an hour ago, Dad met her at the door and she called out to me on the 2nd floor. I probably didn't hear because I was so focused on my conversation with Ooishi-san. I didn't reply, but he knew I was in my room, so he had her come inside. And he told her my room was on the 2nd floor. He thanked my dad and went upstairs. Then about an hour passed. He passed by my dad just as he was bringing up tea and left. He came upstairs and about an hour passed, and then passed my dad and returned home. Then, after she came upstairs, and until she left, where was Rena? There was only a short hallway between my room and the stairs, meaning Rena had, for about an hour, in the hall. No, she couldn't have been standing in front of my door all that time. The door to her room wasn't particularly thick. I could hear everything being said inside. All the ominous things and the nonsense I spoke to Ooishi-san began rushing through my head. Honey, don't tease him. More importantly, you need to clean up your studio. It's a mess again. Mum yelled at Dad from downstairs. Dad left the tray with me and went downstairs with a disappointed chortle. I followed my dad out of the room with my eyes. I looked down at the floor, around the hallway, around the doorway where Rena might have stood all that time. Just now, I was talking to Ooishi-san, with her back turned. Rena was standing a mere 6 feet away the whole time. At that time, in this dimly lit doorway, all that time in this dimly lit doorway, what did she see? What did she hear? For what reason? As the steam from the tea cups ominously wafted and twisted, the aroma of black tea filled my room. I'm surprised that someone could stand there for like an hour. Also, that conversation went on for an hour. Wow. Also, I'm surprised that like Rena didn't even knock on the door for him. Anyway, something about the police chief, and we got the achievement lies. You lie to Rena. Oh, that's no good.